Hey, folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's intraday analysis video, brought to you by the creators of proprietary price, pattern, and time methodology. Learn the PPT strategies and profit for life. My name is Gareth Soloway. Let's get into the action today on this Tuesday, September 2nd, 2014. First and foremost, I hope everyone had a fantastic holiday weekend. It's now time to get back to making money, and that's what I'm here to do. That's what we do here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. Swing trading, day trading, you name it, it's here for the taking if you know what to look for. All right, so number one, markets are seeing a little bit of weakness today. S&P down 7.5 points, Dow down 79 points. NASDAQ is squeaking out a small gain of about a point and a half, and this is coming on the back of Apple. If we flip to Apple's chart today, you can see that this stock continues to move higher, and really it's off its highs of the day, but it makes sense why it's higher, right? They have a big conference next week. I think it's a week from today, next Tuesday, and they're supposed to be unveiling a new product. So my guess is Apple continues to stay generally strong into that conference. You know, you could have a small down day here or there, but for the most part, neutral to upside bias on Apple. A target right now is right around the 105 level to see a top on this thing. So it's really not that much upside. A little less than $2 from the highs of the day, about $1.25 on AAPL. But again, that's why just one of the stocks. You also have Tesla today helping. Tesla got upgraded, and this stock is moving higher by the tune of about 13 points. And this is now at new all-time highs. Now, I've been just recently, I came out literally 2 weeks ago and I said Tesla's going to go to $300. And at that point, it was trading right around the 255 area right in here. And you can see what it's done. So, in all fairness, I'm still in the camp that thinks this goes to the $300 level. Really, another day like today, and it would just about be there. Once it gets above 300, I think that should be the top, though. All right, so Tesla above 300, look for a top there. And I do think at some point you have to figure fundamentals mean something. And yes, I think their technology is amazing, but in all fairness, Ford, GM, and all these other car makers are going to start to mimic them. So I think down the line, their growth projections will be a lot more timid, a lot lower than initially people's projections right now. I also think today's move is partially a short squeeze. A lot of shorts, you can see, here's your double top. So a lot of shorts piled in here, and they're getting squeezed out today. Okay, so just those two stocks alone are having a good impact. There are a couple other technology stocks that are doing well, which are keeping the NASDAQ higher. But if we flip back to the SPY actually has a beautiful wide range bar on the daily chart we want to pay attention to. Now, what you're looking for here is potentially, if it continues to sell off to the end of the day and you close below this area right here. So see this low of the candle going back to last Thursday? If by chance, and I don't necessarily think this will happen because the volume's so light today. If you look at the volume today, it's about almost 2 p.m. and it's only 45.7 million shares traded. So we're on pace for probably about 65, 70 million today, which is very, very light. But on the off chance that this happens, I want you guys to be aware of what it means. If we close below this low, that would be extremely bearish. This would be an engulfing candle knocking out the two previous small bounce days we had, and that could actually set a chain of events that could lead this market down very quickly this week. If we don't do that, I'm projecting neutral to upside the rest of the week for the most part, leading us into Friday. Now, remember, today's already Tuesday, so I mean, there's not a lot of days left in the week. But I want you to be aware that if we have kind of a close right in this area, I would say neutral to upside into Friday, and then we have the big jobs report on Friday. On Thursday, you also have the ECB, the European Central Bank, on interest rates. So there's some things Thursday and Friday that could affect this market. Until then, I think you have a flattish type market, though, for the most part. Okay? So that's what we have going on there, guys. And again, the spiders continue to bounce just a little bit off the lows. If we go back to the intraday, you can see we actually hit a key support here on the intraday SPY chart. Remember, the SPY mimics the S&P 500. It's the tracking ETF. So here you had a little pivot low from Friday, and now we're bouncing off of it, being lifted up beautifully right now. All right, if we bounce back, you'll have resistance right here. See, if you connect this low to this low, see how we bounced right there up? Well, now if you retrace into that level plus the 50 and the 200 right there, that's going to be resistance, and you expect a little intraday pullback off of that level. So really looking at the charts, if you know what to look for, there can be some amazing things that show themselves which allow you to make money. One trade that I took this earlier today was in the late morning session. GoPro, let's take a look at GoPro here. So GoPro had a beautiful inside bar bullish pattern here. See how you had the red candle and then the reversal candle and then 1, 2, 3, 4 inside bar, 5 inside bar candle. So I hopped on right here and I just made, and it doesn't look like much, but believe it or not, I made about 30 to 40 cents on this trade on 2,000 shares, taking about $750 on the trade right there. Very easy trade. Inside 20 MA was moving up, and I just hopped on and I took the money off when it got above the 55 even number, as it's an even number play right there. And sure enough, it came back in. Now it's floating decently again. You have a little inside bar bearish, but I actually think, and I wrote an article on the Rant and Rave blog. Make sure you guys are following that. It's a free blog, so even if you're not a member, you want to follow it. But one thing you want to keep in mind is this is the daily GoPro chart. So if you look at the low here, which was around the $28.80 level, and the high here, which was around $50, that's a $21.80 move up 1, 2, 3, 4 days, right? So if you take this low right here and you add that same distance, so this was a $21.8 move up, and you put $21.8 to this, it takes you to about $58.80 or so. So based on projections, I think it's actually $58.40. If you add that on, that's the price you get, and that's known as the symmetry rule. So if we talk about symmetry and utilizing symmetry to predict moves, that would tell us that GoPro has a little bit more upside, potentially to around the 58.40 level, at which point it would become a very, very solid shorting opportunity. So a lot of people today were asking me, is it a good short today? Is it a good short today? And from what I'm seeing, I don't think it's quite there yet, but I would say once it gets above that 58 level, it becomes a very lucrative shorting opportunity at that point. Okay? All right, guys. So that's what we have going on there. A couple other stocks to look at here. You have U.S. Steel. One thing I'm paying attention to U.S. Steel here is not only does the $40 resistance just above the highs here, but you're also making a little inside bar action here off of this fall, which could turn out to be a bearish pattern. So that's just another little thing we want to kind of put away and keep it on our watch list for that potential purpose. One stock or one ETF that's surging today is the TBT. This is the 20-year, and it basically shows us what rates are doing. So if rates are going up, this thing is going up pretty nicely here. So the 10-year, for instance, is going up very big today. I gave this out. Anyone who took my webinar a couple weeks ago, the Elite Keys to Limited Success webinar, I charged $549 for it. It's about a 4+ hour course, very intensive on proprietary tactics that I use to trade. And basically I said, listen, I'm going to give options trades out to those people that take it. And essentially my hope is that those options trades pay for the webinar, maybe even more. So I gave one options trade last Thursday on the TBT when I saw this little bit of a doji down here, and it was a long for the January call options, strike price $54. All right, strike price $54 on the TBT, and I think I paid $3 for mine, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I paid $3 just looking at the trade right now. All right, so guess what these are at right now, guys? All right, if you had taken the webinar and you got this alert, which was emailed out to you, the calls on TBT, right now, $4.10. That's basically a 35% move, and I told people, I said I bought 50 contracts. That's over $5,000 in profit. So they paid $549 for the webinar. They learned the entire 4-hour course, and they got everything in that course, proprietary techniques that I use, and then I gave them a trade that if they followed me exactly, and all you had to do was put about $10,000, $15,000 in options in that trade. I mean, 50 contracts, right? Then ultimately, a little more than that, but bottom line is right around there. Ultimately, they made $5,000, and that's including basically getting the course for free plus $5,000. That's awesome, guys. It just pays. I mean, Nick and I, we always go out of our ways to make sure that for those that take the webinars, not only do they learn the proprietary techniques, but we always try to give them something extra, something special. Because, those are the people that I want to deal with. I want to deal with people that want to learn, not just kind of be there for the calls and get the fish fed to them. All right? If you're here to learn and you're here to master the methodology like I've spent decades doing at this point, then I'm going to give you whatever I can give you and do my best. All right, so just a cool little thing there. I thought was kind of cool. And again, making in 2 trading days 35% on your options or $5,000+ is pretty solid in terms of a return for spending $549 on a webinar. JP Morgan today, guys, basically down slightly. JPM could be making a little inside bar bearish pattern. Just to give you again the projections on the spiders before we get going here and finish up. Look for again neutral to upside, generally going into the mid to late portions of this week, Thursday into Friday. Going into Friday, there's a chance for an up day there. If it's an up day, then it should put in the short-term top on the market. If it's a down day, then it's already started. So you're really looking at a little short-term pivot of Friday into Monday as being the top. Again, you'll either get a sharp sell on Friday or a nice pop on Friday. If it's a pop on Friday, that's the top. If you get a sharp sell, then it's already began. Okay, guys, have a great afternoon, great evening. Come join us here at InTheMoneyStocks.com, Profit with the Pros. And again, free trial here. Come join us, check it out, make some money.